All right. Welcome everyone to a brand year and a brand new episode that we have got going on for the new year with the Nurse Kristen podcast and YouTube channel. Today I am so excited. I have been wanting to have this girl on the podcast and the YouTube for months. It's been months, and I am just so excited to start this season with her. Miss Eva from Purpose People is here. Oh my gosh, Eva, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I have, like I had just said to everyone, I have been wanting to have you on for so long, and the fact that it's finally happening, I just couldn't be more blessed to have you on. So, hi, how's it going?
So good. You know how it is? It's like you have these internet friends or people you've connected with for so long. And then when you meet them in person, whether it's virtual or in actual person, you're like, oh, I already kind of know you. What's up?
Right? It's like catching up. Like, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, so I wanted to start everything off for anyone that may not know you, if they don't follow you, or maybe not know a whole lot about your backstory. Tell us a little about yourself. So, anything from going into nursing, anything that people could learn a little bit more about you.
Awesome. Yeah. It's so funny because I feel like I could do like the 20-minute version or the 2-minute version. I'll try to find somewhere in between. But I have been a registered nurse for probably 6 or 7 years now altogether. Graduated nursing school, went into a step down ICU unit, found out that I loved cardiology. I've been in cardiology since I've been a nurse and I am obsessed. I was lucky
Same.
yeah, I've been lucky to find the specialty that I really like from the beginning. And so that was a lucky thing that I had. But I moved to New Jersey from the Northeast, from Massachusetts,
Mm.
a year to my nursing career to be with my now husband. So when I made that move, I obviously had to change jobs. So I
Yeah.
stayed in cardiology because I knew I loved it. I was taking a per diem role, which I didn't think I wanted. I was like, oh, I guess I'll take a per diem role because I really wanted to be at the hospital that I chose because it was half a mile from where I was living. And it was the number one
Mm.
hospital in New Jersey for cardiology. So I was like, as long as I can get in there, I'll take the per diem job. It'll be fine. Little did I know, I found out that like being per diem was life changing. I will never not be per diem. It was the best decision like I could have accidentally made for myself because there's a nursing shortage, as we all know. There's not a lot.
Yeah.
Always the hours. I work day shift, I work night shift, I work less holidays, less weekends, like a higher pay
Oh,
rate. I ended up getting insurance through the hospital because they offered it after you worked. Like if you worked in your per diem role more than maybe I think it was like 24 hours a week or 30 hours a week on average for the year, you were eligible for a different insurance. So I got that. It was the perfect scenario for me. And then I
oh,
fell in love with my job.
yeah.
And even though I loved my job and loved my role, I still struggled with seeing the difficulties of nursing. Like you cannot overlook
Mm-hmm.
no matter
Right.
what, you cannot overlook them. Even when you're in a role like that, where you're like, wow, the stars are aligned for me, there's still things that are like glaringly obvious that are an issue. And so I started to basically use my voice on social media, not knowing what the heck I was doing. I was literally just like throwing things at the wall, like just
Yeah.
wanting to like say something. And
Sure.
I slowly developed that into fast forward to now, I have a full brand about it. But for a long time, I just trialed and errored a lot of things. I started a little book club for nurses. I was talking about self care online. And then I launched apparel and I developed a brand that is now called Purpose People. And it's a nursing lifestyle brand for nurses. And our whole goal is just making them feel seen and appreciated so that they can feel fulfilled in their nursing careers. And I now do that full time. So I moved back up to the Northeast. I moved back up to Rhode Island last year. And I haven't gotten another nursing job since at the bedside, which is what I've been doing ever since
Mm-hmm.
I was a nurse. And I've been loving it. I feel like there's so much opportunity and I still don't know exactly where I belong, like if I'm going to go back or what I'm going to do. But I'm welcoming my first child into the world in 2 months. So there's going on.
Yeah.
Like, but
Oh
I
my
feel like
gosh.
I'm on my way of just doing what works for me and making me
Mm-hmm.
feel fulfilled as a nurse and letting
Mm-hmm.
that lead the way instead of what I'm quote unquote supposed to be doing with my degree. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it worked out for me.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And the fact of going full time, was that super scary of like then taking purpose people full time, leaving the bedside? Like, how's this going to work? Is this going to work? Like, it's such a big risk, but we're going for it. You know, you and your husband, right? Because you guys, he helps you with the business, correct?
Yep. So we're actually both full time in the business right now, which we weren't planning on doing that. We were planning on just me, and then it turned out to be both of us, and it's worked out
Oh,
fine.
that's awesome.
But again, being per diem helped me so much with that transition because in what year is it? It's 2023. In 2022, my last year that I lived in New Jersey as a per diem nurse, I didn't work full-time hours as a per diem nurse. I only
Mhm.
worked once a week as a per diem nurse. And so I kind of was already doing like the full-time business life, but I had that
Yeah.
net of, oh, if I need work, boom, I can pick up shifts. Oh, if like my business flops or if I'm a failure and like nothing works out for me, I have this backup plan and security in this job. But I was still working once a week. So when I
Yeah.
that job, when we moved back up here, I was really only leaving 12 hours a week of nursing behind. So it was a little bit easier for me to transition to full time, but it was still terrifying. And
Huh?
I don't think I would have done it unless we again had to move 4 hours away and I had to leave that job. I don't think I would have
Right.
quit that job because the safety net of it was so great.
Right, right. And like you said, being part DM, I feel like kind of helped a little bit. It wasn't like full time one and then, you know, just jumping right into the business. You mentioned about obviously the support of nurses, everything that was going on with nurses, especially then COVID, whenever COVID hit, right? That was just absolutely insane. Was there any other inspiration of you just wanting to, was like, what did it even cross your mind that you were going to start this business with Purpose People? Or did it just like this was an idea you had to just put out there? And go for it and just take that risk.
So I knew I wanted to talk about nurses being fulfilled and self-care and that kind of stuff because that's already what I was talking about. And I had the idea to do a product. And I was like, I think I would like owning a little small business where I sell products to nurses. And so in October of 2019, I got a mentor actually, a girl who just had her own business, not about nursing or anything, but she sold products.
Sure.
Can you teach me what to do? Like how to package things in a box and get a label and send it to people? And what do you think I should say and all of that. And so I launched 6 mugs. I didn't start with clothing because I didn't know how, but she taught me how to do the mugs. I paid her. We had like 4 or 5 Zoom sessions. And then I launched them in October of 2019. And I was like, I loved it. People were getting broken mails in the mug. It was a mess, but I was like, this is
Oh, that's awesome.
clearly the fact that I was still a mess, but just so excited about it showed me
Yeah.
that it was for me. And so then I learned how to do apparel. I think I launched my first sweatshirt and t-shirt in like January and COVID hit in February. So then I was like, okay, I kind of have this brand, not really. It's just starting out, something I'm trying, but I really like. And now I'm working full-time hours in a pandemic. Obviously, your whole entire work life and personal life is flipped upside down.
Correct. Yeah.
I ended up launching, or not launching, but gathering money and resources to do care packages for nurses all over the country. So we
Mhm.
dropped them off locally, we mailed them out throughout the country. And again, I was so small. It was maybe like 30 to 50 boxes. Each one was for an entire nursing unit. And
Yeah.
ended up getting recognized on Good Morning America for it. And so that was crazy. That like catapulted things for me
Ah,
a little bit, just to have that recognition and not even financially catapulted it, like more so fired me up of yes, people want to see this. It's making a difference. What I'm
right.
important. I already love this. And now I'm like 10 times more excited to keep going. Because when you get
Yeah.
that excitement, it helps you, just to
Oh,
continue on.
100%.
So that was kind of my journey. And then because our personal lives were so boring during COVID, we had nothing going on. You came home to
Yeah.
nobody. Like me and my fiance at the time, chilling at our house. And then full-time nursing, I had so much extra time that I would have normally been spending with like friends or filling with, you know,
Yeah.
activities that I ended up growing the business with that time. And I ended up making it more legitimate and eventually a
Oh,
full-time job, which is insane.
that is amazing. I am so excited for you. I knew you were going to go places too because I could tell like that drive and that ambition and that energy that you had to it. But underneath it all, for the support of nurses, I feel like is the greater purpose, right? Like it's just such a good feeling when you can support all the nurses out there that, needed that support and still need that support. Like you said, I mean, there's still so much going even post COVID. But so I did a thing of stories, so of questions. So people had some questions. One of them being business related, as far as starting a business. And what do you recommend as far as starting a business? Do you recommend a master's, any sort of business degree, or should you just start if you have an idea to start one? That was one of the questions.
Okay, well, I'm sure you know where this is going, but just start because I
100%.
always say whenever I talk about my business to people, if I'm discussing business, I make sure I say, I know nothing. I knew nothing. I am a nurse. I'm not a business owner. I just became a business owner by choice.
Yep.
And it does make things a little bit more challenging, but that's part of the business owner journey, is being on this roller coaster of like ups and downs, learning as you go. And like I said
Yep.
previously, trial and error is so big that
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we just want to be prepared. And that's a very nursing personality type as well, that type A personality.
100%.
Prepared. We love preparation. And I think in nursing, that is so, so valuable. But I think as a business owner, it's not as valuable because you just need to take action. Take
Yes.
Not like nursing at all. You need to take action
No.
and then deal with the consequences later and
Yeah.
figure out how to pivot and grow from there. And so I
Yeah.
have no business experience. I did, once I found out what I loved, again, purpose people, I was like, okay, I've done a bunch of things. I found out I love products. I want to make this a brand. I started to make it a brand on my own, again, doing all these different trial and error type of
Yeah.
things. And then I was like, okay, what resources are out there? I joined business masterminds. So I did pay for education through people's programs. I was finding things online. Like I said, I hired that coach, but that was
Yeah.
just 6 Zoom calls that were like $150 each to
Mm-hmm.
learn literally the basics
Yeah.
of what I wanted to do. So I never pursued a bigger degree because I felt like it would have been too much information and I wouldn't have even known if I liked it yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's so true. But the biggest takeaway is definitely just take action
Yeah.
and, whatever good or bad that happens, take all of that as feedback into what you're going to change going forward. It is a lot. It's a learning experience, especially like you said, when you have no experience with business. It's just like, I've got this great idea. I want to pitch it. I'm going to start it. And then I'll just do some research and do whatever as the time goes on to make it bigger and better. Right. So I love it. That's awesome. Another question one of the people had asked on the page was for your business in 2024. What plans do you have? And it's funny because I'm like she's going to tell you all the plans for 2024, but like generally speaking, do you have stuff going on for 2024? Any events, anything for the shop that you would want to share at least right now with the
Yeah. So
viewer, with the listeners?
like I said, 2024 is going to be interesting for me because I'm due February 1st with my first child. And as we already discussed, my husband and I run this business together full time. So it's really just in our little bubble. And so our bubble is probably going to be bursting a little bit with this new life. And I think we are making it a goal to be more flexible and not be so hard on ourselves because like we talked about, the nursing personality, or at least my personality, is very driven, type A. I like organization. I do like to feel prepared, even though I'll still take action
Yep.
anyway. I love feeling prepared. And so I need to accept that this year might not look, I can't plan for it because I've never been a mom.
Right. Right. Right.
So I'm trying to be easy on myself with that. But I can say that the pillars of purpose people are merchandise, community, and give back efforts. So that's really what we focus on throughout the whole year, every year. And so those will still be our 3 core things that we focus on. So providing community for nurses, we have a community blog. We obviously have merchandise releases. I would say the first quarter of the year probably won't be doing a lot of product, again, because we're welcoming a baby. And
Yeah.
then this year we didn't do like crazy give back efforts. I talked about the care package we
Yeah.
did. We did tons of different give back efforts throughout the few years that we've been in business. But next year I really want to do a bigger one. I want to collaborate with other brands and work with them to give back. So I really want to
Yeah.
work with other brands. And I also want to work with more nursing. I wouldn't even say nursing influencers, but like nursing people that have a voice in nursing online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
merchandise with them. I this year we did a merchandise line with Jen Hamilton, has a huge voice in nursing. She's amazing. And
Yeah.
we did a merchandise line with her, and it was so fun to just work with another nurse on it, come
Yeah.
together, and we made such a difference, and so many people loved it that I really want to focus on that for 2024. So I would say that's
Oh,
kind of the gist of where we're headed.
that sounds like so much fun. But like you said, at least giving yourself grace because, yeah, you're going to have a little bundle next year. So, I mean, definitely the flexibility is something as a nurse, like you said, we like to plan everything. So, totally makes sense. And then to caveat with that one, another question a listener had, or one of the people on the Facebook had actually written me was goals for yourself in 5 years. Like, do you have any goals for 5 years, whether it's career, whether it's with the shop, or is it just kind of see what happens depending, or anything in 5 year goal plan?
Yeah, I think when I first started the business, I would have said my 5-year goal was so different than what I would say it is now, like 2 years. When I first started, I think I would have been like, I want to have a 7-figure business. I want to have a warehouse. I want to have at least 5 employees. And now that I'm in it, I am just like, not like that at all. I would say, just take this with a grain of salt because again, it might change in like a year, but I would say right now in this moment, my 5-year plan would be to have a few children, grow my family in my personal life. And
Yeah.
I would say actually to go back into the nursing field is part of my 5-year plan. So I want to get another per diem role again, probably in cardiology, just because I love
Cardio.
cardiology.
Yeah.
Um, and I want it to be on my terms, my schedule. Like I said, have a standard for myself now that I want to be in nursing in a way that serves me the best, where the profession is serving me and not vice versa. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, I'm putting everything into it when I'm there, but as far
Sure.
as schedule goes, and then with purpose people, I would say probably having like 1 or 2 support people on my team, not even like full-time employees, but just people that, whether it's part-time or just they come in as contractors to help.
Yeah.
And moving the business out of my home in the next 5 years would be awesome. So to have like a dedicated physical space that's outside of our home. I mean, right now it's dedicated space in our home, but it's just
Yeah.
having work close to you is hard, when you like in
Mm-hmm.
the where you could be working. That's a
Right?
uh, thing to deal with, especially as we start to have kids. That'll be
Yeah. Right?
interesting, balancing all of that. So I think moving it out of the home would be part of my 5-year plan too. But I would say in general, I think that's what I envision.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, at least, especially right now, who knows? Maybe in a year or two, it'll change a little bit. But no, that's awesome, Eva. That's awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So then, for any of our listeners or the viewers on YouTube, I always ask this towards the end of podcast or the YouTube, but just any advice that you want to give any of the listeners, anyone that's watching, it can be anything with just like life, nursing, anything that gets you through the day, the week, the month, maybe even the year that you would want to tell the listeners that are listening today.
Yeah, of course. I think for me, what has impacted my journey so much in getting to where I am today, which when I first started nursing, I had no thought that I would ever be doing this. But I think what's led me to that is listening to myself and what I want and tuning out the supposed tos and what
Mm.
society is like putting on us, especially in the nursing field. It's hard. There is a lot of pressure and voices and a lot of us being told what we should be doing or the path we should be taking. And I think really choosing to tune that out is so, so valuable to you feeling fulfilled,
Mhm.
you feeling like you are on your own journey and you're satisfied with your
Yeah.
life, whether it's personal life or your profession. It's really
Yeah.
so huge.
It really is tuning that. And it can be hard to like tune out all of that. But it's just like you said, for your own happiness and everything, you got to, I tell people, you got to do you, boo. Like,
Yeah.
just don't even listen to what everyone else tells you they think that you should be doing. Like, you are your own journey and your own person, and no one's journey is the same. So I love that. Thank
Nothing is
you.
You're welcome. And nothing is too small either. It's like sometimes we think, oh, well, I have to quit my job then if I don't like it or whatever. It's like, no, if you don't like night shift and people are telling you have to do your 2 years on night shift, it's not true. Like you don't have to. Whether if it's
No.
something small like that, or just pivoting in your role a little bit, or deciding to go to your manager and actually say something about something that's bothering you, or wanting to be in charge, or
Yeah.
like it doesn't have to be. I think sometimes we view changes as these huge, we have to make a huge change, but it's really
Mm.
small changes that we start to feel empowered slowly and then pivot in the direction where we actually belong.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Doesn't need to be drastic, even just a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
love that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now for the shop or your community blog, where and our social, where can anyone and everyone find you for information on the shop, any events, anything that you got going on, that they can follow you?
Yeah. So Purpose People can be found at purposepeople.co. That's our website. Instagram is at Purpose People Co. And then we have kind of started playing on the TikTok game a little bit, and that's Purpose People Co. as
Ah,
well.
I love it.
And I will I'll create it right after this. If you want to use the code the nurse Kristen, you can get 10% off on our store. So I'll just activate that for the next like 6.
Oh. Love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then for anyone, like I am wearing like one of your sweatshirts. It's the Grinch one. It's so cute and it's really super comfortable too, by the way. I've been wearing it so much around because I work from home. And so I'm just like all up in a little ball. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, that's
the
so cute.
best,
So
the best.
definitely one of my favorites. But thank you so much. Oh my gosh. So I will definitely have all the links that are going to be below on the episode. So for the shop and for the discount. So thank you so much. But happy new year to everybody. I cannot wait to have more episodes this year. And thank you, Eva, for coming on. I am so excited I finally got you on and for everyone to then follow you. And good luck with a little one that's coming. I'm going to be watching. Everyone's going to be watching and wish you all the best with the new family and with the shop for next year. So
Thank you
until
so
next time,
much.
guys, thank you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Oh my God.